So yesterday we discussed what an industry is, and today we're going to discuss the various industries that you may not think about in your everyday lives. For instance, this scarf didn't just magically appear on my body. It went through different steps and different places before it came into my possession. So the first thing that we're going to start off with is a type of industry. However, this scarf had to start somewhere. So where do you think it could have started? Yes, it is made out of cotton. Alright, so where would this cotton come from? I mean, did it just appear in a factory and then they sewed it together? No, someone had to grow it. Very good. So this first industry is the agricultural industry. This is where our food and everything we need to make jeans, shoes, all of that, everything is grown by farmers and agriculturalists. So that it makes up the agricultural industry. Now after it leaves there, do the farmers put together the scarves themselves? No. So where do you think the scarf was made? Do you have an idea? Yes, someone could have handmade it. That's very true. Is there any other ideas that involves an industry? A factory. Very good. The next one is a manufacturing industry. This is where everything that comes from the agricultural industry is put together and made into something. So we have one right here. We have a huge business, part of the manufacturing industry, Cooper Tire. Does anyone have anyone they know or a family member that works there? All right, they create the tires. The rubber is sent to them, and then they create the tires to be sent out to tire shops or a dealership. So that's going to be an example of a manufacturing industry, is Cooper Tire. So keep that in your head. Now, after it goes there, where do you think it's going to go? Is it going to go straight to the tire shop, or is it going to go straight to the Honda dealership? It might, but they're not going to send one or two tires. They're going to send a whole bunch of them, right? A huge crate about as big as this room. So where's all that going to be stored? A warehouse. Very good. So that's kind of what a wholesale industry is. Now there are some products that stop at the wholesale industry. Does anyone have an idea of where that would be here in Texarkana? No, not Walmart. Oh, it's close, but it's not quite Walmart. Sam's Club. That's what an example of a wholesale industry is, because you get it in a big bundle. You get sold in a bundle, so it's a wholesale. Now there are some stores like Target or Luna Boutique or Kohl's. They get more individual products. They only get a few. They don't get a huge crate full. So what would that, do you think, would be called? It's a name your parents probably actually use a lot. Anybody know? How about retail? Like a retail shop? Well, that actually is the name of an industry. And the retail industry sends you the individual things. So like my shirt is from the retail industry. That was the last stop it took before it became into my possession. Same thing with the scarf. This will be the last step any product takes before it is delivered to the person buying it. So your shoes, they were from the retail industry. That was the last step they were taking before they got to you. Now there is one really important industry that makes all of these work together. Does anybody know how the agricultural industry gets things to the manufacturing industry? Anybody? Yes, they could drive it. Well, what about what about when the farmers send it all the way to China to make our shirts? Goes over the water. Very good. Well, all of these can be looped into one big industry. Does anybody have an idea? I'm going to give it to you. The service industry. So the service industry delivers each product from the agricultural to the manufacturing to the wholesale to the retail. So they are delivery trucks like UPS or FedEx or any of the other deliveries that they make. Now, another service industry could be anything that when you pay for it, you don't get a tangible object. Like, you may get paid to babysit. You don't get anything tangible or anything that you can touch, but you get paid for your services. Just like if any of you boys or girls decide to mow lawns for money. That would be part of the service industry. So all of these work together to create a product for the customer. Any product will fit into any of these categories. And all of these work together to, like I said, create a product for the customer and get it to them how they want and when they want it. So really anything you're wearing or anything you have has been part of one of these industries. So it's just something we don't look at on a day-to-day basis. Now, today for our activity, each one of you is going to be a different industry. And I'm going to give you a product, and you're going to have to figure out how you're going to get it from agricultural to manufacturing, and what's going to happen while you're there. Like I may give you a scarf, and you're going to have to figure out what are we going to grow for it, what factory are we going to send it to, or are we going to have someone else make it? Are we going to do a bunch of them and do it wholesale? Are we going to have a few and do retail? And how are we going to get it there? So that's a lot of stuff for you to think about, but this is just to get your juices flowing, and I'll give you more complicated products as we go on.